Hey, everybody, welcome to another ramble from Ramblings from the Warp Late Night Dice. As always, I'm joined by the wonderful Christian and the kind of wonderful Kyle. I'm only saying kinda today.
That's only because I'm sober, the only one who's sober.
Whose
How
fault is
dare you?
that?
How dare you, sir?
Hi, everybody.
You're a hooker. Anyway, so today's ramble. Christian brought up a really interesting point today while we were at work. Because that's honestly, guys, this is how we come up with ideas is like we'll call each other while we're at work, either me and Christian or me and Kyle. And we'll just be like, hey, have you ever wondered why penguins don't have knees? And it just kind of turns into like a conversation in Warhammer where we start talking about certain things. And one of the topics we talked about is when people are making lists, when you're making an army list, right? There's some different things that kind of like factor into how you make your list. And a lot of people, when they're making a list, they have this mental idea of like, no, this has to be my list because this guy I saw at a place or this guy I saw online said that it's the best unit out there. And Christian, this is your topic, bro. You lead this one right now.
So, as we go into this, I know we're about heresy here, but this falls also into the question that happened. It was in a 40K group. Worlds just happened, so there's a lot of emphasis on competitive lists out there. What was good? What had high ratings there? Everything. Well, found a cool local game store over here. It's called Flip of a Coin. And a lot of good people out there, a lot of new players out there, a lot of new people want to play Heresy and 40K. And they started asking some of the veterans there, store owner and guys, and we just sat around and we had an opinion. We had a little ramble ourselves. And one thing we got to was there was about 3 guys there new to the game and some veterans that copied some of the list at Worlds. You know, who doesn't want to copy a list that went 5-0? They tackled down that game. We saw them play it, and some of the units they had in there that they were stacking, 3 units of 3 and stuff like that, or the best units, they just fell over, and it just got to the point where they were like, "Well, this army sucks," and it got us talking to understand that, like, well, you probably didn't use that as it was intended to. One big scenario of it was there was a rhino. He had scouts, and he had berserkers. You would think the berserker started in the rhino as everyone did, but no, as I went through and skimmed through the game that he played online, he actually never put the berserks in the rhino. He did some cheeky stuff to where he started the scouts in the rhino because the scouts got to jump out 3 ahead because that's your disembark. Then he moved up with those and basically gave those scouts another 10, 12 inches. That's a lot when you're trying to get to a first objective. And that's something that not a lot of people took into account, especially newer players. So there's a lot of little tech that people don't understand and they don't know because they didn't build the list. And I think that's what separates some players, and that's what we need to teach the creativity in building your own list, playing that a few times, and seeing what you could do with those units.
So about now is where some of our viewers are like, but Gabe, Christian, and Kyle, what the fuck does this 40K stuff have to do with heresy? Well, let me teach you, children. Let me teach you. So, over the course of the last like 4 years, I've been fighting tooth and nail to get players into heresy because I genuinely enjoy playing heresy. It's a great game. I love it. It's full of all the shenanigans and the love, right? But people hop over and they're like, hey, Gabe, help me build the list. And I'm like, fantastic. I'd love to help you build the list. Let's build the list. And when I'm building a list, my brain does it a certain way. And as I'm building the list, I see the game unfolding in my head. That's how I build lists. Other people, when they're building a list, they're like, okay, I need something to take care of this. I need something to handle tanks. I need something to fight in close combat. Then there's that third guy who's like, man, that model's fucking cool. Right?
I'm not calling anybody out, Justin.
No, all three of these are valid list strategies, right?
That last one's Justin.
All of these are valid list strategies. I'm not going to knock you for wanting to play the model you want to play or cover all your bases or you want to play strategically. I love the fact that you play the game the way you want to play it. Where there's some miscommunication and where some people can, I'm not going to call it hurt feelings, but I'm going to call it just general aggravation. It sucks to hear everybody online when they're just like, oh man, this unit's great. This unit's great. And then you go to your local minute and like, oh, that unit's great. I don't know what you're talking about, man. That unit's amazing. And then you play it and you're like, every time I play this unit, it turns into a soap drop story. And I don't know why you think they're good.
Yeah.
I spent $80 on this bullshit. Like,
Yeah, like every once in a blue moon, it's like well, that went exactly as planned. The other 90% of the time, you're like, I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't understand. So this is what I want people to understand just a little bit. When you're building a list and you decide that something is going to fill a role or you want something to do on that, commit to the bit. Right, there are tons of times where I'm playing a game and I'll hear that oh so classic saying, well, this is stupid, but I'm going to try it. I cannot express how many times I hear that shit on the table. Okay? And you're like, he gave up on the bit. Somebody over there is charging a Titan with scouts. Right?
Bad.
Everyone has heard us by now talk about the whole soup and spoon, fork and soup kind of conversation. But there's
Yeah.
also the idea of like when you're building a list, like I know personally, a lot of my friends that play the game struggle with this because they're like, hey, Gabe, you help me play this list. And I'm like, okay. And then they're all sitting around the table like mesothelioma victims, like in an infomercial where they're just like, it didn't do what he said it did. He lied about the soup. And I'm like, okay, walk me through what happened. They're like, well, I took, like, I'm going to use Kyle as an example. Well, I used these Tenekai Cult and they charged this Primarch. And I'm like, all right, cool. Some mistakes were fucking made. Bro, you ran snails in a tank.
To be fair, that's all I had. And he was with a group of 20 TAC Marines, and I figured I could get through the TAC Marines fast enough. I didn't get through the TAC Marines fast enough.
but
The panel said that is a lie. But so this is what I mean by committing to the bit, right? If you bring a squad and you're like, this squad I am bringing to kill scoring units. Okay. Kill scoring units. Commit to that. And when you build a list, if you say, I'm building these guys in for this mechanic, I'm not telling you abandon all notions of imagination or creativity. When you're in the game, anything can happen. Crazy stuff's going to go wrong. What I'm saying is, don't be that guy who's like, man, I think I can tie Dorn up with recon Marines. No, you can't. There's enough data to prove that doesn't happen. Right? So as you build a list, like I think the worst trap we can do as veteran players helping new players is saying, hey man, let me help you make a great list. And you build a list based off of how you play the game.
exactly.
You need to find the middle game, the middle ground. Middle game. Ugh. Stupid bourbon kicking me in the teeth. You need to find the middle ground between making them excited about the game so they can play effectively, but also not being that guy that leads them astray where they go into their game and they're like, I spent $500 on this bullshit. Right? because both of those are valid concerns, right? But what we also don't want to do is, I'm going to use Kyle as an example. Kyle sucks, and I'm sorry. But for Kyle's first like 4 or 5 games, like I remember he came over and he's like, I thought you said these were good. I was like, okay, what happened? Show me on the Space Marine where the bad man touched you. He was like, look, these dudes keep exploding when they think. Yep, they're scouts, Kyle. That happens.
Yeah,
And these guys,
I've been known to take some unnecessary risks on my psychic.
The first time I ever saw Gabe tell you this and the light went off in your head was funny as hell when Gabe was like, you know you don't have to do that all the time. They're just good by themselves at shooting. And you were like, yeah, that laugh says it all right there. I'm like,
what do you
but
mean
you're
I don't
like,
have
but
to
I
do my
want
shtick?
to.
But it's my shtick. It's a stick that hits you in the back of the head when it breaks.
but like, and then like another thing, he was like, yeah, these Kinatai Colt. I'm like, what's it? Because, bro, they suck. They couldn't kill this dreadnought. And I'm like, you charged a fucking dreadnought?
Yeah, I definitely did that. It was
Bro,
just a
it reminds
contemptor.
me
I thought he could handle it. They couldn't handle it.
when you said that, it reminded me of when I was hearing your dad and his friend talk about going hunting, and I asked which rifle he was going to take to go hunt bear. And Kyle's dad replied with a fucking stick because he was going to use a bow and arrow to go hunt a bear. That's what it looks like when Kinatai Colt charge a dreadnought, right? The same can be said for lots of units. With Ultramarine, Suzerain. Suzerain can kill a great many things very effectively. They're a great unit. They're fantastic. A dreadnought will Swiffer them, right? Not because a dreadnought can hit extraordinarily well or do anything. It's just bad math. Strength 4, strength 5 weapons swing against a toughness 7 model. The math isn't mathing.
Yeah.
The other thing that we want to look at is it going to be fun for them to play? Is it going to be fun for you to play when you build a list? One of the greatest examples of like building a list the way you want to play it and do it the way you want to do it is Seth. Homeboy brings an angry beehive of Mongolian scouts. It is the most unhinged, stupid, irritating list there is out there. But there's a certain amount of props that has to come with, hey, Seth, what did you do that made them so angry? I play with scouts.
Hashtag fuck that Praetor.
Do you know how irrational it sounds to say that scouts made you mad? Do you know how rational it is when somebody's like, yeah, I was playing against this army, and every time my sergeant poked out, he shot it. That sucks. That's an annoying list. Hashtag Kyle's annoying scout snipers, right? So
Yeah,
at the same time,
my guys are annoying as fuck.
there are other armies that are just as annoying, right?
But I will say, Gabe, I gotta say it. If you charge them, they can't run away 15 inches.
They should get better legs. So the other thing to be said about this is the play style of a list. I can give you a list that's gone and it's won and it's a great time. And I said, man, this list is so fun to play and I can hand it to you. You'll go play one event with it. You'll come back and be like, clearly when you played that, you were on some shit. Because I didn't enjoy that at all. That happened to Christian. Christian took over a list that had been to some places, done some really good stuff in a game. He went to play it. He came to me and he said, there's a disconnect. I don't get it. It's going to happen to the best of us. Right? Your list needs to have a flair of your creativity. It must. It must meld in your own mind. It has to have an interpretation that translates to the table so that when you play it, you avoid some of the things that are going to upset you during a game. The first thing is you don't want to be painted into a box. You don't want to ever feel like I have to play this army this way because Poonslayer 9000 on YouTube said it was the best list out there. It was the best unit out there. We're not doing that bullshit here.
And it was hidden behind a paywall, and I paid for it. And he said this.
Yeah, if you want to play with a unit, play with it because you want to play with it. Now, I am super guilty of the next problem, which is I have a nostalgic attraction to certain units. So when I play, I'm like, I got to find a way to put this in my list. I need to find a way to put this in my list. There are certain models that no matter how much, like, I can tell you right now, if Kyle played 800 games of Heresy,
My wife would leave me.
799 of them will have Kennetai Occult, and the 800th game, he forgot him at home.
Yeah, I love those guys. They're so good. They're so close to being good. I love them.
That's that bullshit. That's that bullshit. So we want to make sure that when we're building, when we do stuff, one, don't build necessarily just to the missions. Also build to have some fun. Don't paint yourself into a box. Don't paint a new player into a box. The second thing is, dude, go for the rule of cool. Kyle once asked me, he said, "Hey man, I have a question." So what's up, buddy? And he said, if I got a sorcerer on a disc of Zinch, could I run that as a sorcerer with a jump pack? And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I thought that'd be really cool.
I was like, absolutely you can. Anyone who says that you can't, feel free to slap that man. Because that's thematic. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. Is it a legit heresy model? Technically, no. But does it look cool as shit? And is it lore accurate for late after the heresy? Absolutely. It totally makes sense that would be a thing you can play with. I don't understand the disdain for that. Lean into the rule of cool. If rule of cool for you is, well, I know 5 units of Terminators aren't going to win, but I really like Terminators. Cool, man. Do it. I have no problem seeing her do a face paint, roll up to a table, be like, I like turtles. I'm cool with it.
I like trains.
The one thing I would have to say about the Terminators, though, and if you take them, this is the big topic we're talking about, is if you take those Terminators because you love Terminators, play games and figure out what they're good at. But when you play those test games, whatever you have them doing, make sure they just do that for at least 2 games so you could see if they could actually accomplish that. The reason I say that is I play Sagittarium and Custodes. I got laughed at by everyone. That's the worst. Everywhere you look, they would tell me that's the worst unit in the Custodes Codex. Okay. That's fine. I played them. I figured out what they did good, what they did shitty. And it worked out pretty well when you take 10 of them, and Custodes don't have the range to deal with las cannons, but when someone shoots them or you shoot at them and you delete 8 of those 10 las cannons, and now nothing could kill those Custodes at range, and I could just run at you. I've changed a lot of people's opinions on those models, and there's some people out there now who are going like, nope, that's not right. That's BS. But that was a different edition. But it took me having that unit wiped like 10 times, 10 games in order to figure out what they were good at. And it's because I kept on trying to use them for other things. I kept on getting pushed behind a wall and getting scared that I'm going to lose a game. So I'd switch up my tactics with them. I wasn't sticking to my game plan for them. I think you have to stick to the game plan to figure out what your favorite models do, and not send Tenekai Occult out of Primarch.
Well, okay, so I will say this. And this is something that I hate to see in a store as well. And this is something that I'll tell everybody, like, this is something I like genuinely. 2 very good friends of mine, the way I met them was they posted on a Facebook group. They're like, I want to get into 40K, but I don't know what to buy. Will somebody show me? And I was like, I'll meet you at the store. Right. So we all show up for our drug deal. And he's looking, he's like, what should I start with? And I said, well, man, you can start with pretty much anything you want. What looks cool to you? He goes, man, that box knot looks amazing. This is a while back. Don't judge my age. So he's like, that box knot looks amazing. I'm like, hey, dude, it's a cool little starter box. It was in Games Workshop. It was released in that Space Marine kit, which is like a tactical squad, a dreadnought, and like a commander. And this guy walked up. He goes, that box is shit. It'll never be competitive. Don't buy that or you'll lose. Bro, if you say that to me in a store, I might put hands on you. That's the rudest out of pocket shit you could say. Nothing will ever shit on somebody's dreams harder than don't buy that, you'll never win. Hey, that model that makes you want to play the game, fuck you for liking that.
Yeah.
The only time that is acceptable is if you play Tau. But
Right.
Fair.
That tracks. Yeah.
No, it fucking doesn't.
No,
When
it
have you
does.
played against
Fuck Tau.
fucking Tau, fucking Kyle?
I did. I played one Warhammer game against him on Dawn of War
Oh.
3, and I hated it.
This guy said, "Donovan, what up, bitch? This bitch right here."
Okay, that's one thing that I thought he was funny as fuck because this happened this weekend too. I walked in that store and there's like two 18-year-olds, a 20-year-old, blah blah blah, some young freaking kids playing this game, and they're like, "Oh yeah, fuck Tau," and I'm like, "What do y'all actually know about Tau? And have y'all actually played them?" They basically started laughing. It was like, "Nah, it's just a meme."
It is a meme.
They say it on Reddit all the time. Well,
Yep.
there's a lot of that shit going around, especially with Heresy.
Tau's the new Nickelback.
Like, have you ever met some guys that are like at the end of a podcast are like, fuck Erebus? Like, why?
Why?
Bro, I'll tell you right now. When I was combing through the Facebook groups, I felt like T-Pain, bro.
Why so?
That one where he's like, quit sending me this bullshit. We have it already. Because if one more person is like, I'm new to Heresy and I'm going to play Iron Warriors.
Get your
My
bullshit
lord,
out
dude,
of here.
there's so many.
There's
I'm
so many of them.
I'm not gonna knock you. I'm not gonna knock you for wanting to play Iron Warriors because they're a great Legion and they're on the cover art. We knew it was gonna be a thing. But
didn't want it to be a thing so bad because I didn't want everyone fucking playing them. But God, everyone.
No, and I'm cool with it, man. Like if you're playing Heresy and you're enjoying it, that's cool. There's gonna be enough mix and match out there. It's just the online scene is just like, so what about Iron Warriors? Hey, what do you guys know about Iron Warriors? Iron Warriors this, Iron Warriors that. And I kind of want to be like, hey man, be outside the box. Be the Iron Warrior player that plays with Seekers. Just no one. That's the Spanish Inquisition of models for Iron Warriors. No one will ever see you come with Seekers. You're show up to a game, they're gonna be like, "Oh, what'd you bring, man? Iron
Bro,
Warriors?
you have Seth's fucking ears ringing right now because he's playing Iron Wars and he's like, what did the game say? What do I have to try to make work?
Bro, I'm telling you, because like I look at Iron Warriors and a lot of guys are like, oh yeah, what should I bring? And of course there's a default. It's like you need 27 Mortis Bombards, you need 12 Indicators, you need all these rapier batteries. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm looking for the one random off the wall guy would be like, man, you should make the spoilers cool again. What?
What?
With Iron Warriors?
Here's an idea: 20 breachers.
Tell me more. Oh, breachers are thematic too, but the spoilers are kind of out the wall. Like I kind of want to see some guys go outside the box, and that's what I mean with this whole thing. Is like when you go to build the army, you're gonna buy your first box, or even if you've been playing this game for 20 years, 30 years, 2 years. I don't care how long you've been playing the game. What I care about is when you go to build that list, you go to play that game. I don't want players that only play based on what they were told is good or what they were told is cool or what the internet said. I want you to be like, I got into this game because I like the way this looks and I want to play that. Do it. Now, if what you happen to like was like 30 fire drakes, we should have a chalk. Like, that's a little rude. But
Gabe, that's a little oppressive.
Oppressive, yeah. I'll just chalk that up to the plantation thoughts. But at the end of the day, people shouldn't have so much sway over how we feel about how our lists play or build. You should take input. Input is always great. If you want to come to me and you want me to help you build a list, everyone knows I help everybody do whatever they need when it comes to this hobby. Like I'll help you with just about anything. Building a list, painting an army, assembling something, figuring out, what, you need to transport a model. I'll help you. I'm all about it. What bothers me is when you get about 2 years into a hobby and you're like, yeah, this game just isn't fun. I'm like, okay, well, why do you still play it? Well, when I first got into it, I really liked this. Cool. Who paid you to give up on your dreams? Play with that. Like, I can tell you right now, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Christian is trying to find every possible way he can to put a tormentor on a list. Every possible way. He was just like, well, if I put this in my list, I can't afford the tormentor. Maybe I'll just take 39 scouts. What? He's like, well, I can't afford tacticals, but the scouts can still take shrapnel bolters. I'm like, dude, are you high?
he's looking like It's Sunny in Philadelphia, Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the red lines everywhere.
No, no, he's not even doing that. It's more like the episode where they're like, let's do meth. He's going above and beyond to make the
Just
tormentor happen. I'll be damned what else happens, bro. He is pushing it hard. I'm over here like, I just want a functional list. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disjointed in third. I still haven't really found that home run kind of list idea for me. Like, I'm still kind of getting bullied by my ideas. And like, I'm playing a lot of Rule of Cool for third edition, and it's kind of kicking me in the ass. Uh, but yeah, like I don't want people to give up on what drew them to the game, and I also don't want you to be let down by it. Like, oh man, I tried playing with this unit and they suck. I'm like, well, I mean, you did charge demons with them.
and
Like Kyle's like I can't wait for Kyle to run up against my word bears, and he's like, I don't understand why my Kenotai cult couldn't handle those Galvor back, bro. 30-point PowerPoint of why that wasn't gonna happen,
Well,
right?
they would have had an advantage if they were demons in 2.0 at least.
Fair.
and one point I also just want to point out is that this is good for 3.0 because you don't have really people shoving the best list in front of your face as much as the other on the other side 40k. Copying pasta like certain lists or whatever, every just you have every right to be creative in this hobby and take whatever you want and find that in heresy and take it to narrative events and do it, everything. I'm not trying to say it as a downput, like there's not that much coverage, because there is coverage coming for this game now. 3.0 is popping off, I think, more than we expected. That's a good thing. Just don't lose that inspiration on what models you want to take. Like Gabe said, let the cat out of the bag. When we go to in January to that event, I'm bringing a tormentor. I don't care if the list sucks. I don't care what I have to put around it. I'll make the goddamn points work so I can
So-
take a 750-point model exactly on the nose to be in the list.
So
I'm
are
still
you
trying
gonna
to
be a
make it fungible.
traitor, or are you gonna be loyalist? So I know what side to be on.
I mean, Christian is just like, I don't give a shit as long as they'll let me play my tormentor.
And
But yeah,
rules as
that's
written, I can bring it. I can.
and there's one other part of this I kind of want to get into, which is a sidebar to the original conversation. And this is going to be pointed more at event organizers. I understand the desire to be involved in the game, and I understand the desire to want to keep heresy. If your rules are specifically geared to curtail people's creativity, you're a dick. If I show up and I'm like, yeah, this is my list. What is that kit bash model? Oh, that kit bash model is like my own take on a warsmith. Well, that's not the legit warsmith model, so it's not allowed. I don't like you. It's not the kind of dislike where I'll be like, oh, that's such a shame. It's the dislike where I'll actually be upset that I went to your event. Because I come from an era of Warhammer where you could kit bash anything from anything. And we've kind of entered this new era where it's like, oh, you can use bits and everything else, but the model has to be some percentage of Games Workshop. I can understand that at an event. What I can't understand is when somebody kit bashes something and they use a 40K model to make kind of like a rule of cool kind of thing. Don't get me wrong. If you roll up with a bunch of intercessors and you're like, they look very tactical marine like, I'm going to be like, eh, right. But if you kit bash a really cool sorcerer on on a disc of Zinch, and you're like, yeah, it's a jump pack sorcerer, and you're like, burr, 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 burr. I don't like you. I want to embrace people's creativity. I like, we have a really good friend of ours, Matt, we call him Chops. This dude has kit bashed so much weird shit.
He plays orcs, so it's kind of like par for the course.
Oh no.
Oh, you haven't seen his Space Marines.
Dude, you have no idea. Oh, even better, he painted some of Christian's MAGA custodes. And we only call him, okay, Christian doesn't have MAGA custodes like in the traditional sense. He has custodes that are painted red, white, and blue. They're patriotic as hell. The name stuck because it was
Yeah.
convenient. But
You gotta explain it.
yeah, that one needs a little context. So
no, that's so bad. Because people are gonna be like, "What?"
We're
Christian's
not getting
got his,
political on you. That's just what we call them.
Yes, that's just, it's also like, wow, how I call my world eaters MAGA. They're like, "What is that?" I say, "Make Angron great again." Like it's another thing. But anyways, oh god.
so what's funny is Chops painted a good majority of that army.
Hmm?
One of those bitches has an orc head. Randomly in the massive custodes, there's one with an orc head. We're at Lakehammer, and Christian and Seth are playing a side game, and Seth stopped everything he was doing, and he's like, "Is that a fucking orc?" In the middle of everything, and Christian was just like, "My custodes aren't racist."
His GT got a little fucked up.
It was the way he said it, man. It had those like, "Whose damn white baby is that?" He said it so serious, like to the point. He goes, "Is that a damn orc?" I love that at a game. I loved looking at, Cam's Ogren army with all the flair and all the craziness. You had to come and take it flag, because we're playing, in Texas. I love that. I want that creativity to be embraced. I don't want it to be stiff armed by events. I want Heresy to go back to being the welcoming game it was, and not so much of like nitpicking the small things.
I get enough of that from my wife. I don't need it in my gaming.
I wouldn't even go that far. It's more of like whenever you. Oh, okay. This is the easiest way I can explain it. Have you ever met somebody that when they play like Uno, they play with the rules out.
Ugh.
Right. Right. No one likes that guy. If you're at a family reunion or a friends get together and somebody's just like, okay, cool, let's play Uno, and they break out the actual rules, you're like, fuck is wrong with you? It's like a visceral reaction. Well, that's how I feel about some of the events that I've seen where they'll go out of their way to try and disqualify models. I'm like, man, like they're here to play, let them play. They paid to be here, let them play. Again, there's going to be some extreme examples that I'm against. Things like, what do you mean I can't use my 40K Magnus as Heresy Magnus? Well, because one of them is the size of a person, the other one's the size of a fucking house. Right? If your scaling is right and your model's cool, I think rule of cool should always be the top priority. That's the gist of what I'm getting to is like your list should be your flavor, your feeling, what you want out of it. I can tell you, I wholeheartedly don't believe that Ultramarines ever win painting contests, right? Except the one time they do. It's kind of like Lupus and House. But I've gone places and people will be like, oh, that army's really plain Jane. I'm like, well, it's Ultramarines, bro. It's vanilla ice cream with no sprinkles, right? I went to another event. I'll never forget this. I went to an event in Abilene, of all places, to play Heresy. And a guy walked over and he said, hey, your numbers are wrong. I was like, what? He said, yeah, the numbers on your shoulder pads are wrong. I was like, did I mix up? I thought I mixed up the numbers in the squads when I put them on the display board, because they have the ones and twos and threes. I thought I'd put some twos and some ones, whatever. No, this shit gibbon of a human being broke out a fucking codex and said, see, they're the wrong font. The wrong font, motherfucker? Are you serious? You're
But Gabe, we got to think about state. We got to think about the integrity of the game.
bro. I asked him. I was like, "Are you a college professor?" And he's like, "No, why?" And I'm like, "Cause that's got some real. We only accept our exams and aerial basic kind of bullshit. What the fuck kind of complaint is that?" Right? Like that's
Are you a college professor? No, I'm just autistic.
yeah, like that's my hang up is like you shouldn't ever go out of your way that much to make something uninviting. And it's funny because the same people that make that argument are typically the same people that are like, man, why won't heresy grow? Fucking let's take a stab at why.
This is what I mean by the clickiness also in heresy. Did we talk about that yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked we discussed it. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm
link.
saying.
Oh, trust me, I'm still waiting for the feedback on that one.
No, because this is the funny. We're not going to get feedback on that episode because everyone who that applies to, even our group, every group applies to you, but all of you are looking like you ain't talking about us. Yes, motherfucker, we are.
Motherfucker, I was talking about us. Are you serious?
Yeah, like exactly. We all. Ugh. But there are people like that's not us. That's not. We're inviting as fuck. We still got the same 8 guys for 5 years.
It's me. I'm bitches.
Yeah.
So-
Bitches be wanting to wake up in the mountains, drink coffee on the back wraparound porch. I'm bitches. Bitches is me. I want that.
so I guess that's the synopsis of what we were rambling about today is like, when you're helping people get into the hobby or when you yourself are working on this kind of stuff, never rule out what brought you to the game. Don't rule out what looks cool to you. Now, there's going to be some stuff. I'll be the first one to admit there's going to be some stuff that you're like, man, that's really cool. but that shit sucks. Right? I get it. But if you like it that much, play with it anyway.
I will spit up my drink. Oh.
Now, Gabe, I need you to tell me why I should run a Delegatus instead of a Praetor.
I'll fight you in the streets with a fucking hammer. You know, like okay, good example of running something not good, but you're like, I'm doing that. Christian played with a flyer at Warzone.
Okay, we freaking this up.
A flyer. Seth also brought a flyer, but he doesn't really count because again, we're back to the whole scout thing. Like Seth's army is like an anathema. It makes no sense, but it's hilarious the way he plays it. I took a Primarch to Warzone. Almost everybody's always like, oh, Primarchs are overpowered. Bro, at 2.0, I hated playing with Primarchs. Everyone that ever played against her were like, hey, how come you don't take a Primarch? I'm like, it's 460 points of las cannons I couldn't take.
Right.
That's like, bro, like I almost sound like a heresy paralegal. Be like, 460 points, bitch, that's 2 Volkai teams. Right? So you bring the stuff that's cool. So it's cool. And there's a lot of this stuff that's just showpieces in your army. These are models that are beautiful, gorgeous models that you never get to play with. Play with them. Break them out. Have a good time. That's, I did that at Lake Camera this year. I brought a Leviathan Dreadnought. I never played with it. I wanted to see what it looked like on a table. I'd never seen it with grass under its feet. There's always going to be that model that you were like, man, that's a really cool model. I wish I played with it more. Then play with it more. Everything has a use in 3.0 for the most part. I must say for the most part, because there's a couple things that I haven't found the puzzle piece for them yet. But we're getting there. Play on your own terms. Build your list on your own terms. Don't be bullied into playing a game in a way that you're not going to enjoy it. That should apply to everything. That's if I have a takeaway to give you from this ramble, don't be bullied into playing your armies the way you don't want to play them. Play your way, commit to the bit. If you bring something and you say, I'm going to use this just to piss off my opponent, stick to it. Piss people off.
Yeah.
If you're bringing a unit and you're like, this unit is what I'm going to use to kill characters, then go find the prettiest belle at the ball and fuck him up.
Don't
Do
chase
you.
the meta. This isn't that kind of game.
Well, and that's the other problem is like when we talk about chasing the meta, you're the meta. I'm the meta. Right? When people talk about, this meta concept, right? Even in 40K it applies. It doesn't matter what the meta is. Because if you don't know how to play with the meta, you're stuck. That's what kicked off this whole conversation was, yeah, this guy ran an army with X, Y, and Z. And then you played, you're like, man, X sucks. I don't know how this army won. Well, probably because when he built it, he had an idea in mind.
Not only that, but the reason why meta doesn't apply, even on both sides of the coin, is because those lists were made for worlds. If you really if you really want to break down everything, especially in heresy, like heresy events, like which ones did good and everything like that, you have to know what is the meta at Lake Hammer, because the meta at Lake Hammer is not the meta at Warzone or in your own cliquey little groups. We all have different metas because we play against these armies all the time. A good example is, like I said, when we went to Alamo and Warzone. Good events, top tier players, but the metas were different because everyone brings unique stuff, their own unique list, and one event had a bunch of heavy support teams, the other event had big, tough like vehicles and dreadnoughts. So the things that you read in meta lists, you kind of have to look what they went up against, what that local meta was, because Gabe's right, you make your own local meta. So when you copy paste a list, they might be going up against all Horde. And when you go back and you play with your friends and y'all love dreadnoughts, so y'all spam dreadnoughts, and a whole Horde list ain't really going to do anything against that. One thing that Gabe always points at is that we played, when me and Kyle got into the game, we played a lot of games against Gabe. Just Gabe. That was kind of our local meta. We got to play Gabe and Justin here and there. Those games were way different from when we went to Alamo. I'm not saying in a good way, in a bad way. It was just you're used to an Ultramarine gun line.
Yeah.
That was our
Yeah.
meta, gun line. We build our own meta, and that's what people need to understand. So taking a list that was from maybe even some way halfway across the world, because heresy is really big in Europe, it's just not going to apply the same. The terrain's not going to be the same. The layout and the missions aren't going to be the same. So that's why when we say don't chase the meta, they're that I guess that's the beauty of this game. Everyone thinks there's a meta, but there really isn't, because it's just you and your friend group. Play what you like. You got anything, Kyle?
No, I agree.
Well, like the whole thing about chasing the meta or being part of the meta, when I say that you are the meta, right? If you start playing with dreadnoughts and you're like, man, I really enjoy dreadnoughts. Cool. You created a dreadnought meta. Neat. That's how it all starts. And that's where that clickiness I was talking about in Heresy is kind of funny, because I love watching an army. Like me, I run a pure gun line, right? I remember when I took that gun line, and this guy was like, yeah, you're my next opponent. I'm like, oh yeah, what are you playing? He's like, Blood Angels. I'm like, oh, what'd you bring? He's like, all Dawnbreakers. If they touch me, I die. That's terrifying to me.
Better make sure
And
they don't get you.
they touched me. They 100% touched me. Right? Don't build for what you see out there. Build for what you see in what you want from that list. What you want from that army, what you want from your experience. Also, and I can't stress this enough. We've talked about it before, but I got to nail this one home. Playing with it once is not playing with it.
Phrasing.
No, I said what I said. Me and this bourbon don't care about it. If you're gonna test something, test it. Don't play it one time and then be like, this squad sucks, and yeet it out a window. Bro, like there's certain things like hard counters exist. There's certain armies out there that were made to fight other armies, and that's just how it is. I have a standing rule of I typically try to play the main body of a list 3 to 5 times before I change something. It's my go-to. Don't give up on your ideas right off the bat. Give them some time to develop, play some games, learn how they work, learn what they do. It is very rare that you read a unit and it plays exactly as you read it. If they did, Kinatai Colt would be killing Primarchs and Dreadnoughts. They would be murdering just characters in the streets. My las cannons would be able to shoot any character at will all the time. Everybody has a concept of how they want it to play and how they see it playing out. Give time for that picture to develop. It's the only thing in Heresy we really got to be patient about is giving things an honest shake at things. Like giving a unit an honest shake at a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Al, what do you have to add on this rant?
Me?
No, the other fucking Kyle that's here.
I didn't hear my name. I just heard, what do you want?
He said, I heard,
That's all I heard. Man, I sure just would like to play some more. That's my thing right now. Like I got this list that we built on TTS, and I just got to get time. First of all, right now my time is very precious and very exploited. But I'm looking forward to seeing what people come up with at this new 3.0. It looks like it's gonna be a whole bunch of bullshit.
So far, what I've seen, there's a lot of bullshit. I'm not gonna lie to you. So far, there has been a lot of bullshit.
But that's what I mean. It's fun. You can't prep for everything, so you might as well take something that you love. Yes, it's gonna die, but learn how to play with that very special unit that you love playing with all the time, and figure out what it does well, and show people why you use it, why it's special to you. And dude, write down what it has done. Also, that was a cool thing that I used to love, and I think it was Cole that used to. Was it Cole that used to do it? Like, man, he had something in his Astra Militarum list, and he used to mark it down all the time. That thing took out a Primarch, it's taken down a Titan at one wound or stuff like that. Like,
Yeah,
I
he's
miss
got
that.
little markers for guys who survive
Yep.
battles and stuff. Yeah.
Make a narrative with your models. Make a narrative with your favorite unit.
Like
I miss that stuff.
My Kennetai sergeant that killed those what are those spear guys from Emperor Children?
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about because you got happy as fuck whenever you did that, but I don't remember the name of the unit.
What's the unit game? What's their special unit with the lances or the spears or long pokey sticks?
Who are we talking about?
Emperor's Children.
With long pokey stick. You're talking about Phoenix Guard?
Yeah, maybe a Phoenix Guards. Yeah, I think that was
it.
Yeah.
The Terminators with the Terminators with the pole arms.
Yeah, my Kennetai killed them, and I was very excited about it.
And I know we said stick to stuff, but yeah, there is going to be some times where you're like Kyle and you have to test the waters. Go for it. Test it a little bit. It's your favorite unit. Throw it at everything, but don't write it off as bad.
And like what's cracked
has a limit.
What's cracked me up about this edition in particular is like we came back from Lake Hammer and we were like, I have different ideas for my list. And we went completely different fucking directions. Christian was just like, yeah, I'm going to do this and this and this. Gabe, what'd you do? And I was like, I found a way to fit 25 rapier batteries into a list.
Well, that's the one thing we did that I think was on the same page is it's like we all had a fever dream and it was all different, but the only thing that remained the same, we were like, rapier battery squads are fucking OP. They're good. They are really good.
We definitely feel that. I was cracking up though because I was listening to everybody there. Like, there's tons of people that are like, "Oh, I need more Vindicators. I need more tanks." I'm over here just like, so you're saying you can do it with rapier batteries? Bro, I came home.
I need rapier batteries.
I came home after Lake Camera, I sat down and I built a list and I sent it to Christian. And Christian was like, "The fuck is wrong with you?"
I was like, Gabe, I only put 8 or 12 in my list. Why'd you have to put 24 of those motherfuckers in there?
Christian's response: "I can only get so hard. Stop."
Well, and the
No,
funny thing
because
was,
then
is
he
like,
well, the only reason I didn't go that high, Kyle, was because I need to make room for the tormentor.
So your list is a tormentor and then nothing but rapier batteries. God.
pretty close. It feels that way.
You
It
can't
feels
score
that
points
way.
if you don't have anything left on the table.
I was cracking up, man, because I'm sitting here, Christian. We were talking about the list. He goes, "Yeah, I want to do this and this and this." I'm like, "Okay, well, dude, you're missing like 700 and something points." He's like, "That's the tormentor," and I'm like, "You're bringing a tormentor in this?" And he's like, "Yes." I was like, but why?"
Wrong question,
And
Gabe.
his reply was fucking priceless. This bitch said, "Cause I wanna." Do you know the power behind that? Do you know the power behind that statement? Because I wanna. You can't argue with a man like that. That man wants to see the world burn. You can't reason with it.
It's not about the money, Gabe.
Yeah, dude,
It's about
100%, dude. He
sending
just
a
like, it's not about the
message.
money. Oh man. But yeah, that was our topic for the ramble today. And as always, and I say this, and I don't think anyone's actually heeding this, but I would love some feedback from our wonderful listeners. Maybe y'all aren't even that wonderful. Maybe y'all are hood rats, but I'd like to hear about that too. If anything, I'd like some feedback on just how we're doing. What do you like? What do you dislike? What army are you working on? What model are you working on? Why aren't you at the Tuesday hangouts? Shout out to Mike for being a consistent hangout. But feel free to send some feedback. Hop in the Discord, chit chat with us. We're always open. We're always open to talk. We're always open to hang out. I know that Kyle's time is precious, but he still makes some for us from time to time.
I try, man. Look, I got D&D tomorrow night. I got a social dinner with my wife on Thursday. Going to the Deer Lease Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're supposed to have D&D next Monday. I don't know if that's going to happen. Tuesday, I think I might be able to sleep early. No, Tuesday's the hangout. Well, fuck you, Christian.
I mean,
He said, fuck you. Ah!
I'm the
At-
editor. I'll cut whatever the fuck I want.
if you want everyone to know your business and what days we're recording this shit, go fuck ahead.
We record on Thursdays. And somewhere in there, I gotta
You
get
added
facts.
like 4 days in there.
Like, it's not hard to understand when we started this recording when you're like, I got this on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Let's leave out a day.
I got a kid. I got a wife who likes me. I don't have a lot of time.
That's the cut point.
And
But like I was saying, I would love to have some feedback. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know some ideas you have. What are you working on? What army are you trying to build? What crazy, silly dream are you trying to make work? Are you trying to do Iron Warriors with 19 Mortis Bombards? I want to know about that. I think we all want to know about that. And more importantly, it might give me something to ramble about.
If you guys
Everybody,
want us to ramble about a topic, post that too. Fuck, you could even join us on the hangout and we could ramble about it with you and take those ideas and we'll be like, hey, this from our listener from a comment. We're rambling about this today.
this dude looked at me with his whole chest with 10 toes right at me and said, I don't like your shit. I'm cool with it. With that being said, guys, we're gonna go and wrap up for the night because I know that Christian and I are like 9 drinks deep. Um, as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for sitting through our ramble here. We'll catch you on the next episode. Hopefully, send us those ideas. And as always, happy dice, happy life, and fuck Erebus. Catch you on the next one.
Adios.